There is nothing that woman would do or say that will make her deserve to be set ablaze. But if you say she deserves that, it means you equally deserve death. Because what men do cannot be compared of that of a woman. If there is nothing that man will look at to forgive that woman, what about the kids that she gave to him? Like I always say, before you get yourself entangled into so-called marriage, make sure that the criteria required for a successful marriage is met up with. Else, you'll fall victim as well. You must first of all have it into your skull that you are not a perfect one. Therefore, you shouldn't expect a perfect one as a partner. Your spouse must have his or her own errors. So if you know how to manage it, then walk into that. Don't just look at your hugeness that you are due for marriage you entered. Maturity I am talking about is bigger than growing hairs in your pubic areas. It's bigger than your hugeness. It could be psychologically, it could be physically as well. Let me tell you, a woman that knows she cannot manage the anger of his own spouse shouldn't get entangled with that man in the first place. Because we all know the weakness of women. That little organ in their mouth is so little anyway, but that is the strongest to get a huge man frustrated in life. If you run out of your control, if you run out of yourself, you commit murder. We all know that. That is why they are called weaker vessel. Then a man that loses, a man that lacks ability to control a woman, a man that lacks the understanding that a woman is nothing but a weaker vessel, shouldn't in the first place get entangled with any woman. Else, he will commit murder. Look at the man now that set his wife ablaze. He's full of regret. If you ask him, he'll say it is the handwork of the devil. If you ask him now, he will tell you that it is the handwork of the enemy. But he is the devil we are saying. Before he can carry out that action, he must have thought of it severally before he now decided to execute it. So tell me how it is the handwork of the enemy, as they usually say. You thought about it. You nurtured it before you executed it. You went and bought fuel. Then you set her ablaze so that the world will not come to listen to your explanations. Everybody that grows in maturity must know that in nature of women, the tongue is stronger than the bones of the man. It can get a man frustrated. But what do you do about that? Build yourself for that. You must know that there is no possibility of separating the head from the neck. No matter how the neck worries the head will never forfeit the neck. If you cut it off, what then will carry the head? Where will the head situate? It's a question. For this man to think in the first place that setting the wife ablaze will be a solution to his problem, he must be a foolish person, because that is the beginning of his problem. The best thing a man can do when it is much on the head of the woman is to walk away. You walk away. While coming back, of course, you wouldn't meet her at that same state you left her. That is maturity. Violence can never settle it. If anybody tells you that marriage is a bed of roses, it's a lie. Both of you are not perfect. Tolerance. No, Nemo, Ijedio. If it has been shown to her in the beginning, I am sure that she will, in fact, she will not even say a word to that man. At least having known that the man is a monster. Then if it was shown to the man as well earlier before now, I am sure that the man will prefer living like a saint than lay hand on that woman. He will ever live with the mistake. If people will learn from this, I believe that domestic violence will be controlled rapidly in our society. If you are a groom, Never you marry a bride that you cannot be able to group into a wife. Which is your choice? Marry the one you will control, the one you will trim, the one you will build into that wife you dreamt of having for your own good. Then if you are a woman, never you say I do to that man you cannot manage his anger. That is my advice. It's a pity, quite unfortunate. Imagine the pains. Imagine the pains. Setting her ablaze alive. What a human being. Wicked heart. Well, like they always say, eye for eye. And ignorance is not an excuse to the law. He will face it so that others like him will learn that such a thing does not pay. Okay? Look at, what's the name of that singer? Osinachi Nwachukwu. Okwa Kocha N'Akụkọ. But I believe he perceived it from the beginning. If you cannot manage the man's anger, walk away. Marriage is not do or die affair. If you cannot manage that woman's anger or you can no longer tolerate her, walk away so that you will live and escape from the blame. Domestic violence. It happens when there is no understanding or maturity. Well, it has been happening. That is why the gods decided to punish the man with this. Because I know before such a thing will grow to this level, they've been living with it and they've been covering it. If God wants to punish somebody, it's just like that. So, you that is hearing me, there is nothing that woman would do or say that will make her deserve to be set ablaze. But if you say she deserves that, it means you equally deserve death. Because what men do cannot be compared of that of a woman. If there is nothing that man will look at to forgive that woman, what about the kids that she gave to him? So that kissing or joy. It is not like that. What he did is evil, and he must pay for it. And whoever that is practicing the same thing in his home must be ready to be the next in line. Eye for eye. That is my belief.
So more boy bag. My mother boy bag, my father boy bag. I'm not Italian. I'm not one day and I call boy. Like I'm asking an avatar of a big deal. So, where dear by when you are never, or where little balloon all the time. So the woman suffered. She suffered and suffered and suffered. My own witness. 1 at 4 o'clock, walk over the engine. Buckets are 9 or not engine. I make us him, Mama. Sim mama na onwere ya na dey be sim mana na petty business on them and on a fly plantain. Yes, no na fly plantain. Mana plantain na if no you grease plantain like 29, let's say 15,000 on our bamboo.